I'm waiting, Sub Pump. I'm waiting. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna, and today I'm actually going over with you guys my very first, some of you might fall over, ColourPop BYOP palette. Now, I have never taken advantage of ColourPop's BYOP, not because I didn't think it was worth it, but I've just always been a fan of buying their already curated palettes, and by the time you own a bunch of those, usually you have a good amount of shadows in the singles version that you do in the palette, so I never really felt like I had to do the BYOP. Now, ColourPop had their 25% off sale and I was so excited, and they had all these new single shades in their big butterfly palette, and I was like, oh my goodness, there's a sale, and some of these shades look so beautiful, and there were new pressed glitters, and I was very excited for them. So I started adding them to my cart, and even with the sale, the BYOP was still the cheaper alternative. So with the sale, each shadow came to $3 each, and in the BYOP they were $2 each, so I was like, realistically I'm gonna get my money's worth if I just do the BYOP. So that is the route that I went. So even though there was a sale, I wasn't very taken advantage of because I just did the BYOP. I picked the smaller palette, and this one retailed for $24, so it's like you're paying $2 for each shadow, which is not too bad. There is an array of brand spanking new shadows and a few older ones as well. So if you want to see what shades that I chose for my very first ever ColourPop BYOP, then just keep watching. So here is the outer packaging. I love their whole butterfly collection palettes. I think they're gorgeous. Just the graphic designs are beautiful, and I didn't know, but this actually has raised glitter on it and it's reflective, and so I thought it was just like fake glitters, but there's actually like really raised glitters in it, and I think it's just so beautiful. And even on the back, it's very pretty. So this palette is their small butterfly palette, which comes in the BYOP. It does not have a mirror, but it does have the beautiful continuation of the flowers and the butterflies. And are you ready for the shades? Okay, so obviously I have a lot of shimmers and glitters in there. That's just my liking, and a lot of the newer ones I just really wanted. I chose these shades because I was very obsessed with the kind of cool tone neutralies and purples, lavenders, kind of the muted lavenders that they've been coming out with, and their butterfly palette was sold out already, and I was like, oh, I really like that palette. I was like, but I can design this one however I want. I can add some warm tones to it as well. So that's kind of what I did. So I kind of took the cooler lavender tones that I really loved about it, and then just some of the glitters that I was like really in love with, and the shimmers, and then I kind of made myself a little bit of a warm tone one. A lot of people would think that this is a lot of shimmers. I think there's literally only 1, 2, 3, 4 mattes out of the 12. Well, technically 5. There's a glitter matte in there, so you know. So I'm gonna go over all the shades that I got with you guys. So the first one is called The Most, and this one is a metallic. The Most is a beautiful metallic. It's a lavender with a golden shift to it, so it's very pretty. I'm not flipping you off, I promise. So that is The Most. Super, again, I just really loved these lavendery purple kind of grungy type tones they had going on. I don't know, I just love them. This one's called Hey, and it is a pressed glitter. And this one I believe is a newer one. And this is a lavender, but it has like rainbow sparkles in there. I mainly see like blue and green sparkles, but I'm sure there's more. It's probably just the lighting. Now, pressed glitters I always kind of have a hard time swatching. But that practically looks wet. It does look wet. If you're like, what is that water noise in the background? That is our sub pump. I didn't know what a sub pump was until I moved to good old Illinois. But basically when it rains or snows or floods or there's a lot of water, it pumps it out so that your basement doesn't leak. So that's fun. The next shade is called Friendly, and this one is a matte. Definitely a lavender. This one's probably the warmer lavender that I got. I just thought it would be nice for a purple toned type of look, since, you know, that's kind of what we were aiming for. Yeah, it's just like a, I feel like this one does have to be built up a little bit more, at least in swatches, but I feel like I'm sure on the eye it'll do exactly what, like I don't plan on using this color all over the lid. I plan on using it kind of as a crease transition shade for a purple eye look. So if that's what you like, it'll be good. This next one's called Mariposa. I don't think I've touched this one yet, and this one is one of their the mattes with the flecks of glitter in them, and this one is one of their newer ones, I think, and this color just looks so, I don't know, it just speaks to me, and I think it looks so pretty. And let's see, it's definitely like a taupey lavender with golden sparkles in it. I feel like on their website, like, it definitely made these shades way more desirable. I mean, I think they're beautiful, but on their website, they have them like crushed on the top and bottom, and I think it's a very good way of marketing because they look so rich and beautiful. So there are the 4 top shades that I have. Moving on to Z. Second row here. So this shade is called TBH, and it is a matte, and it's a very warm toned matte, and I put it in my crease and it's actually pretty pigmented. Like, you would think that this would be a good shade for a transition shade. I think for deeper skin tones it would be, but if you're like my skin tone, you could almost get away with this being your daily crease color. Like, it's pretty pigmented, and I just was not expecting that. But it's very pretty, and it's definitely more warm toned, but it's super pigmented, super beautiful. This next one is called Nectar. I think this is one of their newer ones too. This one's like an icy lavender. I love this one because it's kind of like the shades that I always use that are normally pink. So normally I go for like pink or champagne shades like this for all over my lid or in my inner corner. But instead this has a little bit, just a hint of purple, and I actually put it on my inner corners, but I did have highlighter on my inner corners already, so it kind of was like, I don't know, a little less, I think, lavender, but definitely a lot of pearl in there. Super duper beautiful. This next one I haven't swatched yet, but I bought this one because I thought it was going to look more chocolatey brown, because on their website I feel like it does, but it's not that. It's definitely like a golden bronze with pops of purple in it, which I didn't even realize. This one's called Flutter, and do you see those like purple reflex in it? It makes it so unique. So again, I haven't swatched this one yet, but holy moly, it's just like a really pretty combination. I feel like I need to build that one up a little bit more. Oh, so cool. I didn't even realize again that it had the flecks of purple, but that just kind of made it tie in even more to the shades that I did pick out. This last shade is one of my new favorites for the crease to deepen up, and I did use this today as well, and it is called Finesse, and I think this one's one of their newer ones as well. This one's really pretty because it's like a deep dark brown, but also has some like almost purple to it. I think it's just so good for like a chocolatey smoky brown eye, which are my favorite types of smoky brown eyes, so the chocolatey kinds. I like chocolate. It looks patchy, but on my eye it did not swatch. It did not work patchy. So there are the shades so far. And we are on the last row, ladies and gents. We are on the last row. So here's what the last row looks like. Okay, so this is the Pressed Glitter in Blossom. This one I think is a newer one too. And this one has, it's like a pink. This one's more sheer. It's the glitter that I do have on top of the other shadows. And this has like, I mean, it's not like the most, for some reason it's giving me like glittery Easter egg vibes. I don't know why. I guess this whole palette's just very spring-like, but it's just a light pink, but you barely can tell that it's pink when you put it on your eye. You mainly just get the reflection, and it's more green and blues. So do you see what I mean? So it just brings me back for some reason to the days that I did those glitter Easter eggs. I don't know why. Is that like the weirdest thing someone's ever compared a glitter shadow to? Like, this reminds me of my day that I used to glitter my Easter eggs. But it does. It reminds me of that. But it's pretty. It was probably one of my least favorites of the glitters, just because I felt like it was more sheer, and I was actually really excited because I was like, oh, pretty pink. But this next one is not new at all. They've had it for a while, but oh my gosh, she is like a duochrome, and it is like, when I see the shade, it just screams Valentine's Day to me. Like, it should be in every Valentine's Day palette. It's called Thank You Next, and it is like a red pink duochrome, and she's pretty, almost gold. Okay. So if you ever see like those chameleon shadows like on Instagram, it kind of reminds me of some of those. So that's Thank You Next. Like right now in this lighting, holy moly, I didn't even notice this, but it's facing me this way and it looks gold. Wow, talk about, so maybe it's a red gold duochrome. This whole time I thought it was pink. I see gold sometimes. That's cool. But Thank You Next, really proud. Like, can you see? I want you guys to see the shift. I don't know, sometimes when I face it a certain way, you can see the gold. Come on, baby. I don't know. This next one is a warm toned matte brown called Good Thing. It's just very orangey brown. There's nothing crazy about it, but I just wanted to add it into the mix. I don't think I have this shade, and it just looked nice and rich, and it is. So here's what we got so far. I just thought it'd be like a good everyday palette, but also have a little bit of uniqueness. That's what I really like, is just like a tad of uniqueness thrown into my palettes, but something that I can still wear and not feel like I'm being too loud, like if I go to work or something. Those are the palettes that I really enjoy, and I feel like this really gives that to me. So I really like these shades. This next one's called The Vibes. I don't know if this one's new or not, but I think this is a metallic. It doesn't say. It looks like it would be a metallic, but definitely just a bronze shade, and I was like, I don't think I have this one. I was in Missouri though, so I didn't like go through my whole collection to make sure, so I don't know. That one's very, very buttery. We're like almost to my elbow. So there she is. So here is my palette that I curated. Yeah. I really like it and I will use it. I think that the only thing I would have done differently is maybe only get one, like get nectar or get this. I don't know. Like they're still very different, these two, but very similar at the same time. But I think they'll just all pair very well together. And that is it. I originally was like, oh, it'd be cool to like unbox. I originally was going to take out each shadow and like do my first impressions, but I was like, that'll be a way too long of a video. So I decided to put it in my palette already and then do swatches. I did put some of the shades on today, so I did try out a little bit, but I can't wait to use it more. And if you guys want to see a tutorial using some of these shades, then let me know down below. Also, let me know down below, what is your favorite ColourPop pressed shadow that you think I should try? And thank you guys so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and you guys have a great day.